on, Duke. Let's go do those crimes.
Yeah. Let's go get sushi and not pay.
Fuck you! That's my name!
Are you crazy? No. I'm just marking my territory. And you got in the way.
What the hell kind of clown are you?
The crying on the inside kind, I guess. They're eating her! And then they're going to eat me! Oh my God!
That is why I won't do 2 shows a night anymore, babe. I won't do.
Hey guys, what's up? How you guys doing today? Okay, so I'm doing a little bit different today. As you can see, I'm sitting here in my chair. Got my Texas Chainsaw Massacre shirt on. Got a red stripe. Okay, so I'm doing it this way today because lately I've been watching a lot of Joe Bob Briggs. Absolutely love Joe Bob Briggs. That guy is amazing. I hope to meet him one day. I don't know if that'll happen or not, but hopefully it will. So I'm going to be doing a review of, I got 4 movies to go over. No, wait. I think I had 5. No, 4. That's right. 4 or 5. We got some movies to go over. I've been watching a lot of Joe Bob Briggs. That's why I'm sitting here with my lava lamp that doesn't work, and my Texas Chainsaw Massacre shirt, and my beer here. I don't have a bolo tie. I don't anymore. I used to. Every good Texan should have a bolo tie, so that probably explains why I don't have one. I used to years ago. Anyway, but you know, I put away childish things when I became a man or something. I don't know. Anyhow, enough of that. So, I'm gonna be reviewing a lot of movies. And by the way, if you don't know who Joe Bob Briggs is, he's this guy. He used to host Monster Vision on, I think it was on TBS years and years ago. That show got canceled, and he does a lot of shows now. Well, for a while, he did a lot of shows that were just live, because that was really the only way that he could do them, because he got kicked off the air for doing stuff that he does. I don't know. So he's this guy from Texas. He reviews kind of trashy drive-in movies. But he really loves them. Like, he really loves them. And just real quick, I guess I'll drop in. If you don't know who he is, he's this guy right here. This guy. Yeah, you see him? Yeah, in his little red shirt there and his hat. All right. That's enough of that. Anyway, so today I'll be reviewing several films that I've been watching this week. The first film that I have to review is Pet Sematary. Pet Sematary, give me 1 second, guys. Pet Sematary is a classic. It's from 1989, directed by Mary Lambert. Yes, this movie surprisingly enough, is directed by a woman. So Mary Lambert is interesting. She came from the world of music videos. She actually directed the Madonna Like a Prayer video. She directed, I don't know, some Motley Crue videos. She directed a lot of music videos. And Pet Sematary was her first full movie that she made in 1989. She, doing all this music video work, that's how she became friends with the Ramones. And she got the Ramones to do the song Pet Sematary that you hear in the movie, and it's really great. The scares in this movie. I mean, this movie is legitimately scary. I would say it's one of the few King adaptations where the film is actually just as scary as the book. I remember not being able to turn the light off in my room after reading that book when I was little, and the movie is just as scary. The little boy who plays Gage is really creepy. Basically, if you don't know what Pet Sematary is about, which if you're watching this, shame on you, you should. So it's about this doctor. He moves to this town in Maine, and they have this road by their house that has, that has trucks that drive by at an alarming rate, and so the road is kind of dangerous. And so because of this, just behind their house, there is this thing that the kids made in the town called the Pet Sematary. That's why it's spelled wrong, because children made it, and where all the dead pets are. And just beyond the Pet Sematary, he discovers is this sort of like ancient burial ground where supposedly if you bring corpses back there and bury them there, they come back. That's pretty much the gist of it. It's really great. Of course, you got Herman Munster, that guy whose name I cannot remember now. Jesus. Fred Gwynn. Yeah, Fred Gwynn is in it. There we go. Owning it. He's great in this movie. Lead character in this movie is played by a guy named Dale Midkiff. I'm going to be honest with you. I've actually never seen him in anything else other than this. He's an interesting guy. His first film was a movie called Elvis and Me, in which he played Elvis in 1988. So that was just a year prior to this film being made. So he was pretty new in film, but he's really good. I think he does a lot of TV now. And man, that cat, you can't beat that. And that church, Jesus. Anyway, yeah, Pet Sematary, really, really good. One of my all-time favorite movies. Yeah, I definitely say check it out. It's really creepy.
What is this place?
I brought you here to bury Alan's cat.
Daddy, is church all right?
Why, Judge?
I had my reasons.
I dreamed he got hit by a car and you and Mr. Crandall buried him in the pet cemetery.
What did we do tonight, Judge?
What we did, Lois, was a secret.
May the Lord bless you and keep you.
Has anyone ever buried a person up there?
May the Lord make his face to shine upon you.
You're thinking thoughts best not thought of.
Daddy's gonna do something really bad.
You're thinking of putting him up there. Don't deny the thought hadn't crossed your mind.
Come back to me, Gage. Come back to us.
Paramount Pictures presents Stephen King's all-time best-selling tale of horror, Pet Sematary.
Okay. Sorry. So next up, we have Heavy Traffic. Absolutely love this movie. This is a Ralph Bakshi film. Bakshi. He, of course, did Fritz the Cat, Lord of the Rings. And so this is probably the most personal film he ever made. The film is arguably really about him. It's about a cartoonist named Michael Corleone, I think, which I always thought that was funny. It was made in 1978, and it's actually, arguably, by a lot of people, the best animated movie ever made. Non-Disney animated movie, I should say, ever made. It's, of course, racy and definitely not for kids. I didn't really realize how much not for kids it was until I watched it. But it has, like, he's this artist, cartoonist, and he has a Jewish mother and a Sicilian father, which I'm assuming is all true. And he kind of falls in love with this girl. I mean, it's Ralph Bakshi, so it's one of the films, not really much happens, but it's all about, like, the style, really, like, not the content, I suppose. But I absolutely love this. I'll probably watch it again. He, I believe, is actually in it at the beginning and the end. There are, like, live action parts of the film at the beginning and at the end, and, like, he's, like, playing a pinball machine, like, the whole time. So the story is sort of, like, looked at, I don't know, through the effects of this pinball machine. I think it's the first time it's ever been on Blu-ray, so I was excited about that. But yeah, I would definitely suggest this movie. It's a pretty nice release. Has like a double, yeah, it's got like a, you know, double. You know, interestingly enough, I found out something about this movie. See, he apparently was fired from the film like halfway through it, and then was rehired. And then he had to, like, take out all this footage that another director had put in that he didn't really think fit the movie. I would like to know more about that. I don't know why he was fired, although him being him, I have a pretty good idea. But yeah, Heavy Traffic. I watched this. It was great.
Ready or not, here it comes. The makers of Fritz the Cat now bring you Heavy Traffic.
Maybelline, why can't you be true? Oh, Maybelline, why can't you be true?
It's the story of Michael, a 24-year-old pinball-playing virgin.
Mick Jagger, I'm not.
Angie, his Italian father.
Ma chi sta namolegnando, capisci?
Ida, his Jewish mother.
I died the day I married a guy.
Okay, Ida, come on. This is it.
Sing it up, baby.
Sing it up, baby.
With this song.
And Carol, his black sweetheart.
Now listen here, boy. As long as Carol got this here good thing and this here left, she don't need anything else.
You'll meet Molly, Rosa, Snowflake, Shorty, Crazy Mo, and the Godfather. You'll meet hoods, hustlers, freaks, creeps, cops, crazies, weirdos, winos, hard hats, lowlifes, and God.
Hey, this is the voice of God. What's up?
It's animated, but it's not a cartoon. It's funny, but it's not a comedy. It's real. It's unreal. It's heavy. Heavy Traffic.
Okay, next up we have the Zodiac Killer from Something Weird Video. Watched this the other night. This is a really nice release. Has a Blu-ray and the DVD there. It's again got double-sided art. Nice little booklet there. So this film is really interesting. This film is directed by a guy named Tom Hansen. And Tom Hansen had never made a movie in his life. He didn't know anything about movies. But he was a concerned citizen. So he made this movie in 1973. No, I'm sorry, 1971. And so he made it during the time all of this was actually still going on. And what's interesting about it is that two things. First of all, he supposedly, I'm not really sure if I believe this or not, but he supposedly received a death threat from the Zodiac himself, like when the movie was finished and he was promoting it, that, like, he shouldn't release it. But he also made the film with the distinct purpose of catching the killer, which I'm not really sure how that's supposed to happen. I guess he thought that someone who wanted this much attention would see a movie called The Zodiac, like would have no choice, would be drawn to see a movie about them, and then they would catch him. Apparently, he had that involved things such as, what does it say here? He had traps set up to lure the killer from hiding. These included the use of an ice cream freezer filled with rent-a-cops and a raffle with the motorcycle as a prize. That's what it says on the back of the box here. I'm not really sure how that would play into catching the killer, but I watched it. Now, I have to say, Zodiac is a great film. I won't deny that. David Fincher, I mean, that film is good. This film is interesting in a different way because it was made like during that period of time, and it's so much more like grimy and mean-spirited. Like there's actually no glossing over the story here. But yeah, the Zodiac Killer, I give it 5 stars, man. Also, some really awesome footage that the Hollywood one doesn't have of of the killer at like a satanic like an altar. I don't know. This is a pretty nice. More about the release. This release is really cool. It actually has a bonus movie on it called Another Son of Sam from about 5 years later, 1977. I haven't watched that one yet though. But yeah, the Zodiac Killer, awesome.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Bob Keel here. Tonight, we have more news on the Zodiac Killer.
Hey, fellas, hold it down. I want to hear this.
He writes another letter to the papers. And I quote, "This is the Zodiac speaking. I am the murderer of the taxi driver over on Washington and Maple Street. They could have caught me last night if they had searched the park properly instead of holding road races with their squad cars."
I'm the Zodiac!
I'm sick, you say. I should be put away, but I'm still loose, aren't I?
Oh, he's got him!
There we go. Safety
You all
sign.
right? What do you say to the nice man? Say thank you.
So next I have, let's see, what do we do? Oh, House of the Devil. House of the Devil is a film. I don't have a physical copy of it. I watched it streaming. I've actually seen House of the Devil before, but it was a long time ago. The movie's pretty old at this point. It's from 2009. So that is a Ty West film. Ty West is one of my favorite newer horror directors. Directors. He does not like to be called a horror director, apparently. But basically, it's like a period piece. It's set in the 1980s, and it's this story of this girl who needs money, so she agrees to do a babysitting job at this uh, house that turns out to be a little creepier than she imagined. So forth. Uh, this movie gets a lot of flack. The people who didn't like it say that they didn't like it because essentially nothing happens in the movie. Um, that is partly true. There are large parts of this movie that are real slow. However, I would say, I mean, you need that. You need that first 45 minutes. And then you get to, as Joe Bob would say, the point of no return. And it gets really scary from that point forward. Um, yeah, man, it's really great. Good 80s stuff in it. Good atmosphere, really creepy. Um, yeah, so like, um, basically like a horror mumblecore movie. Check it out. It's awesome.
I can tell you like it.
I love it. It's perfect. About the deposit?
I'll agree to waive all the deposit stuff. You just give me the first month's down, we'll call it a day, all right? It's hard coming up with all that money, isn't it? It's gonna work out.
You're not the one with $84 in no bank account and a check to write on Monday.
You know what you should do?
Hi. I'm calling in regards to the babysitter flyer posted outside my dorm.
Tonight's big eclipse is now well underway.
I feel a little weird just dropping you out here, like in the middle of wherever we are.
You have to forgive me, Samantha, because I've not been completely honest.
We're from the desert, you know.
You see, we actually don't have a child.
They lied to you.
I know.
They're liars.
Okay, I know you're right. But it's $400. This equals first month's rent and then some, and all I have to do is sit inside and watch TV. This is huge. This one night changes everything for me.
Here we go.
Are you not the babysitter?
Oh my God! Talk to me, Lord. Talk to me.
Okay, and finally, I've saved the best for last, in my opinion. I watched recently. This was another movie that I had seen before, but I hadn't seen it in a really long time. A movie, Henry, Portrait of a Serial Killer. Now, Henry, Portrait of a Serial Killer is one of the best horror movies, hands down, I have ever seen in my life. It is so good, so atmospheric. Henry Portrait of a Serial Killer. There we go. Is an interesting movie because it's really not the slasher, slicer, dicer that you think it's gonna be. It's really what it is an art film. It's a movie that it's very slow. Once again, a lot of people kind of sitting around talking. And it's extremely realistic. Henry, so the movie is based on the life of Henry Lee Lucas, who was a real person, and his friend Otis Toole. It's I mean, Henry Lee Lucas was a guy who, when he was caught, he confessed in prison to something like 350 murders, which they then realized that he was really just screwing with them, because some of the guys who were taking the info down realized that it couldn't be true, because in order for that to happen, he would have had, like, the murders that he was admitting to, he would have had to be in two completely, like, opposite sides of the U.S. at the same time for that to be possible. So, but I think he was put to death. I think that he was accused of or convicted of, I think, like 4 or 5 or whatever. But anyway, I think he got life. Or maybe he was executed. I don't know. Anyway, but this film is based on him. Michael Rooker plays Henry. Now, Michael Rooker, I mean, you're gonna know if you've seen any of the Guardians of the Galaxy movies. He's in those. I mean, Michael Rooker. He went on to be like a bona fide movie star. He was in Clerks. No, I'm sorry. He was in Mallrats. And he's just been in a ton of stuff. And to be perfectly honest with you, being such a movie buff that I am, that's always kind of creeped me out. I know that his character is supposed to be funny in the Guardians of the Galaxy movies, but I always kind of creeped me out that it was him because his character development, like he's so good in Henry. It's really creepy. And the guy who plays Otis was like a theater actor. This was one of those movies when it came out, it scared the crap out of people because the movie was made so grittily and kind of, down and dirty that people, when it initially was released, people thought it was real. um, but no, these are real actors. They were really working. Um, and yeah, man, it's so disturbing because you get so far into the mind of Henry that you kind of start to, dare I say, understand where he's coming from. um, this is the kind of stuff that directors have been trying to achieve after this movie for years, like that Failure, the Joker. Man, I hated that movie. I'll get into that in another time. But anyway, Henry, Portrait of a Serial Killer, terrific movie. You should.
Did you really kill your mama?
I guess I did. You telling me you never killed anybody before?
I ain't saying that.
What do you got in mind, Henry?
What do you think? What do you say, Otis? You want to go grab a beer?
If you shoot somebody in the head with a .45 every time you kill somebody, it becomes like your fingerprint, see? But if you strangle one and stab another, and when you cut up, when you don't, then the police don't know what to do.
You guys need any help? Do you need some help, or can you do it yourself?
Must mean you go for a ride, Otis. It's always the same, and it's always different. Ain't that right?
Sure, it's good to talk to you, Henry. You're not judgmental or anything like that.
Open your eyes, Otis. Look at the world. It's either you or them.
Did I stutter? Give me the $50 and get out!
Don't do that, Otis. She's your sister. Otis, plug it in.
Okay, guys, that's all I got for this week. Stay cool, and there's going to be some more stuff coming. I'm going to be doing another shelf, and I believe a short film will be on my channel as well. All right, guys, peace.